very much.
Record when you are ready.
No, stop the recording first. I'll tell you to record if you want to, because I just want to lay it. So good evening, everybody. Today we're going to look at different locators and also look at Selenium web browser, which is one of the powerful tools for automating web browsers, okay? So Selenium web driver is a tool used for automating web browsers. It allows testers and developers, okay, to interact with web elements on a web page, okay? When we say web elements, we are talking about the text field, the buttons that we click, the drop-down menus, the check boxes, and the links. Those are elements on the web, okay? All those are elements we tend to locate with Selenium with the help of different locators that I'm going to mention, okay? So Selenium WebDriver simulates user actions and also allows us to verify expected behaviors, all within our automation test scripts, okay? So what Selenium does is to help us to launch and control web browsers, okay? The driver, okay? The web driver, okay? And those web drivers could be Chrome drivers, could be Firefox, could be Safari and Edge, you know, and it does this programmatically, you know, we need to program this into our test scripts there. And so this Selenium WebDriver allows, you know, testers to automate interactions with web applications across all these different browsers and platforms, okay? So Selenium WebDriver also allows us to interact with web elements. You know, WebDriver provides, you know, also with the method for interacting with various web elements on a web page, you know, and this web element on a web page, you have a typical web page like login page. Login page has text fields, isn't it? It has buttons. Sometimes some login pages might have drop-down menus, check boxes, and links. So Selenium WebDriver allows us to, you know, perform actions, you know, like, you know, clicking these buttons, you know, typing into this text, selecting options, and submitting forms with the help of locators, okay, that we will be speaking about shortly, okay? And doing all this, we are able to perform actions on that particular login page. And also, Selenium WebDriver help us to navigate through web pages. Okay, what it does is to enable navigation through web pages by providing methods. We'll look into that to navigate to your URLs where you will, you know, open your your website, you know, and also it helps us to refresh pages. It helps us to go back and forth in history and switch between browsers. That's what Selenium does too, and help us to switch between tabs too or windows, you know, when we open different windows, okay? And also, Selenium WebDriver helps us to capture screenshots, you know, of a web page during test execution, you know, allowing testers, you know, to visually inspect the state of the application at different points in time and do some troubleshoot failures if you know, if there's a need for that, okay? So at the end of the day, the main driver when it comes to using, you know, experiencing these activities is locators. It's very, very key, okay? So we will quickly dive into locators. So because in Selenium WebDriver, a locator is a way to find and interact with elements on a web page. Are you guys with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
So a locator helps us to interact with the elements on a web page. Just as I speak, the elements could be your login button, your drop-down menus, your text field that you click, The locators helps us. Now, in a typical web page, the technologies that you used to build, let me digress a little bit. The technologies that you used to build your, sorry, I think, hello, just a minute, just a second, please. Thank you very much. So in a tip, we all know, let me give a little bit of scenario. In a typical web page, right? The technology behind that web page is first and foremost HTML, CSS, which is cascading style sheet, and also JavaScript. These are the three natural, normal technologies we used to build. So if we are about to do some automation on this particular web page, we need to look at the HTML, how we can be able to locate them, locate the CSS, locate some JavaScript as well. HTML is like a skeleton of any application website. CSS is like the skin that covers that application, Then JavaScript, as a human being, you need to walk, you need to perform some actions, you need to drink, you need to think, you need to run fast. So these are the three crucial tools we use to build behind any web technologies. So it's very, very key when we interact with these web technologies, when we are doing some locations with respect to the element of that web page. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? I need us to interact, right? So when locators are used to identify the HTML elements that the Selenium interacts with during automated test execution, they are fundamental to Selenium's ability to perform actions like clicking buttons, entering text, or retrieving information from web elements. Okay, so the purpose of locators, the primary purpose of locator is to provide a way to uniquely identify web elements on a page. Remember that phrase, the phrase uniquely identify elements on a web page so that Selenium WebDriver can perform actions on them. Locators ensure that, automated scripts interact with the correct elements, which is very, very key for us not to be having issues with flakiness of test executions, or, we are not having the right proper, locators to interact with that particular element, especially when some particular elements within a code base, for example, links are sometimes frequently changing, so you have to find the right element. So using by ID, by name, or by link text might not be advisable, except maybe you want to use CSS selector or expert. We will come to that, okay? So moving forward, we need to also look at, the types of locators in Selenium WebDriver. Because you can't be talking about locators without talking about Selenium, because with Selenium, you have locators to locate. So we have, just as Nathan mentioned, we have 8 types of locators in Selenium WebDriver. Don't forget, you see, I'm using the terminologies and the keywords, because when you go into an interview, you must be able to measure these keywords, locators in Selenium WebDrivers. So we locate elements of a web page. You see the way I'm mentioning it by ID, by their ID. So ID, selects elements based on their unique ID attributes. Then the second type of locator is name, by name. So the name locator selects elements based on their name attribute. Then the third type of locators in Selenium WebDriver is class name. This class name selects elements based on their class attribute. Then the fourth type of locator is tag name. This selects elements based on the HTML tag. I'm going to show you that, in a moment. The link text selects anchor elements based on their visible text. I'm going to show you that too. Partial link text is the fifth type of locators in Selenium WebDriver that selects the anchor element based on a substring of their visible text. But we normally don't always use all these, Then the seventh one is the CSS selector. CSS is an acronym for cascading style sheets. This talks about, the fonts, the size, the colors in a web page, when you are designing a web application, a web page, actually. So we use that as well to select elements based on their CSS selectors, allowing for more complex queries. It allows us when there are corporate queries within the tag, in that particular page. So the eighth one, which is expert. Expert selects elements based on the XML. XML stands for Extreme Markup Language. That's the acronym for it. The path expressions, offering the most flexibility and power. So now, speaking of which, expert is the most favorable one, locators to use, because we can uniquely create your own expert if you know the terms, which we're going to go into maybe in a subsequent meetup, not now, so that I can have an idea or the privilege of showing you guys how to create your own expert. Because sometimes when you inspect, an element, you might not find a locator for you to use. So you could be dealing with the value, the div. I'm going to come to that. So what do you do at that time? So you have to look at, a way to create your expert by interacting with those values that appeared when you expect it. So, and also, speaking of which, with time, when you guys move into the advanced, Selenium has come up with a lot of advanced changes and everything, and also how to inspect elements if you don't find the CSS selector, the expert, or the partial link text. What you need to do, which they call the partial selector or locator, something like that. Anyway, so these are the types of locators that I just mentioned that we can find, in Selenium WebDriver in interacting with the web page of an application, or the UAT, which is the AUT, which is the application on that test. Okay, if what I've been saying actually makes sense. Are you guys able to understand all what I've been saying? Don't worry, next one, I'm going to prepare the document for you guys and also send the document. Apologies because I was rushing today. So many things were interacting with today's flow. Anyway, so what we're going to do is to look at, a real life example of locators in Selenium WebDriver, okay? Right? So who has volunteered for
Temitope.
Temitope? Okay. Temitope, right?
Yes.
Now, have you been able to set up any project before? Because I really want us to move ahead.
Yes, I have different projects on. Do you want
Open your project that you are currently working on. This is SpecFlow BDD project, isn't it? No, you don't have to look. Choose SpecFlow, because I think you guys have been on BDD project, isn't it? Which one have you done?
No,
Do you have any
no.
present
You don't want
project?
you to create new projects.
I
You
want
already
Create
to
new project,
I
yeah.
want to close this. I don't know how to navigate to the file
No,
unless
if you could just
close it.
close it and
Close
open
it.
it.
okay.
Close and open it so that we will not
All right.
spend so much time to. Which one are you currently working on?
This
Okay.
is the one I'm currently working on.
Okay. Have you been able to okay, this is the
Okay, let me show you this is the one I'm working on currently.
okay.
So
Where about the step definitions? The step defs?
I'm at the okay. Currently,
You should go to the page object. Go to the page
okay.
object. Let's see if he has done any. At the top, move to the top. Okay. He has
Okay,
already.
now, okay. But now, do you have the base test?
Yes, I do.
Okay, where is your base test? Because I want this to be interactive, okay? So that if I'm tomorrow, if I'm coming up again, somebody has to pick it up. I'm not going to do it, but we will work on somebody's page and see how we can be able to make things right, okay?
All right.
And also, I will be, if there are any corrections to make, I will definitely be making it, okay?
Okay.
Now, and also if I notice one or two issues, we should be able to get it done, and give you some assistance, okay? So, what site are you working on? Where is the site? Is there any site you're working on? Your URL.
Okay. Okay.
For example, if what site for now are you going to automate?
It's
But
sorry.
what site are you guys working on? What project are you guys working on?
Long reach way.
Eh?
You
Long
mean
which
the
way?
general
Because
task? Long reach way, yes.
yeah,
For the
where is it? Because
no, I've not started working on that. I just
no, what
recently.
I'm trying to say, okay, go to your I think I'm gonna be giving you guys some I'm gonna be putting some stuff into your system. We are working together now, okay? I'm gonna be giving you some codes to add to it so that you can, because if we cannot uh, uh, open a URL, right, a website, we cannot locate. We cannot do locate. We cannot do some location. We cannot locate elements, isn't it?
Yes.
Because we have to practically open that website and inspect elements. Then we are locating elements, right?
Yes.
By ID, by expert or whatever. But it's advisable too that you guys should also install your selectors hub. It helps. It opens up, that interest for you guys to say, okay, this is what we're going to be doing, so that it will make a little bit life easy for you guys to practice, okay? So that with time, you will begin to have an idea of how to locate elements, isn't it? So, where is your base test?
They have the selector hub. Or
Yeah.
Ara, just a suggestion. You want quickly create another feature. Just maybe one feature to do this thing, or what do you want to do now?
No. To use locators for us to open website, let them run it and it opens, then we will just do it. So what we do is, okay, do you know how we're gonna do locators? I don't know. I want them to open up the current AUT you guys are using, the application on that test, which is going to be fine. I don't know.
Okay,
Which
you want me to
current one are you working on?
Okay, you
Are
want me
you
to open
opening
up
the browser on the browser? Yes.
the URL for the current project?
Yes.
The long reach way.
Yes. Just open it on the browser.
Can't someone post? I'm trying to open it.
Because I always tell guys that that one must be with you. You must have it open all the time on your system, so that anything you can just quickly go to, Everything needs to be open because that's how it is. Sometimes it might change. So if you're not opening it on ground, you might just relax, and by the time you come back to it, you'll find that a lot of things have gone wrong. So
Yeah. Sorry, I need to open it through Telegram.
I'll put it in the chat for you.
okay.
Oh, thank you, Simon.
So it's for us to practically just understand how it works, okay? And what to use. And also I will advise that you also just add the extension add the selectors of extensions, okay? Okay, this is how it works, right? So this is your AUT. Let's be using some terminology if we can. That's the application on that test. This is what you are testing, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, we have the login, we have the setup, and if we are using it, when you go to your application that you are using, your Visual Studio, you must make sure your base test is ready, where you are going to call your application with the driver, with your web driver, which happens to be Selenium. And if you are, is that a base test? Okay.
This is my base.
Okay, this is your base test. Now, your driver is Chrome driver, right? You manage your driver, you maximize the window and everything. The timeout. Then you're gonna go to let me share something with you, if I can. Sorry, which is very, very key. I think I've not had the privilege to share this with people, but I think let me just do it with you now. There you go. Sorry, just a sec. Sorry, I need to share some codes, which is very, very important for you guys. Then see this coming. Config. Okay. Now, I'm going to explain this to you guys. Okay, this is very, very key. It's an opportunity. Want to look at the general chart. Okay. I'm sending an important code to you guys. Let me talk my right?
Yes.
Okay. I just sent you a code, right? If you look at it, okay?
Where on the, okay?
On the general chart. Now,
yeah, I've seen it.
But every now and then, I want to tell you guys, every now and then you must update the Chrome driver of any browser driver that you are using. That's spec flow for you. Do you understand? But there is a way we can overcome this because of the recent changes and the improvement, okay? So what you would do right now, since you will be the one to gain, you go to your extensions, manage NuGet, okay? Yes. Then go to browse, click your browse and browse for WebDriver Manager. Put them together. Okay, that's it. So install that. Now, what WebDriver Manager does is for you to overcome the setup or the changes that we normally do make when Chrome driver version changes. Because if it changes and you continue with that, it's going to make your code to be flaky. So when we have this and we install this, I'm going to give you more stuff. So it allows you to not touch anything. You don't have to update your Chrome driver or your browser driver. That's what WebDriver Manager does, okay? Then when you install it, then we will do some setup and do some configurations, and that will be all, okay?
Okay. It has been installed.
Just a minute, let me give you some, so that when we are automating, everything is sure. Sorry for that anyway. Okay, now pick that code that I gave to you.
It's done. I've copied it.
You've copied it.
Yes.
Okay, close this and go to our base test. We'll do something nice. You see this base test? Now, okay, you go to line 14, just after the curly bracket, and click enter. So you're going to put it there. Okay, now, of course, it's going to do all that. So you're going to remove that. I'm going to do that. Remove the driver, Chrome driver. Now, to explain this, now this driver, the WebDriver Manager, is going to manage all the drivers without you having the hassles to start updating the new versions of every Chrome driver that comes, because it will automatically set up that driver and also configure any browser that you are using. You can even change it if you want to. You can be driver equals to new Chrome driver. It could be new Chrome driver config. Do you understand? But as it is now, we're using Firefox driver, for example, okay? Now, when it comes to your after scenario, your tear down, after your after scenario setup, which is fine, nothing is on red. If you notice, automatically the using appears there, which is WebDriver Manager driver config. So what that does is to configure all the browsers that you're going to be using by using those two lines that I gave to you on 18 and 19. Those two lines are just the normal key lines that you need for your code and your automation to not go flaky at any time, because we have automatically configured that. I'm going to share that documentation with you through the GitHub subsequently for you guys, okay? Now, when you go to line what's it called? Line 21 at the end, where you enter, I think we're going to have our reason, what's it called? We're going to have how to open our browser, right? And our URL. Do you have a code for that?
For what?
How to open your URL.
Not
But
sure.
no, because they taught you guys. That's why I said I want to be hands-on with you guys, because they must have taught you guys on how to open the browser, the codes, and everything, isn't it?
So guys,
Is there anyone that wants to contribute to how to enter the codes? Does anyone have any idea of the next how to open the browser with the code? Has anyone automated this application before? Hello, guys. Are you guys there?
Once you said how to automate the Java with the code.
No, what I mean, how to you what's the code for the URL? How to open your browser? Now, if you look at Temitope's on driver.manage, that means we want to the timeout as per when the browser will open, right? No.
Oh, I thought you were saying.
No, I'm answering someone. What will be the next one? Because I know you guys must have. I want to see how you guys' knowledge go. The next line of action.
Because we're using Firefox here, and
No, it
since we're
doesn't
using Chrome
matter.
browser,
It doesn't matter here. But what are we going to use Firefox to open? We're opening a browser, isn't it?
Java is equal to new. The browser we're opening. I don't know if it's what you meant.
What
Maybe
you're saying.
Java.
Oh, sorry.
If I'm using Chrome Java is equal to new Chrome driver. Open and close bracket. Open and close bracket. Then semicolon.
No, I just wanted to know before, but let's interact and let's not me flowing. That's how I go. I just wanted to know what we need to do next.
Is it the page objects where you start saying to open the web page?
How do we open the web page?
We navigate to the website.
To
the website.
Yeah. But isn't that not on
testing environment? Is it the testing environment?
Yes,
the testing environment, yes.
Isn't that in the page objects though? The next section, isn't that in the page objects?
Okay, it's in the page object.
Yeah.
Okay. Where in the page object is it?
At the beginning, no?
Okay. That's if is it in the login page?
What do you mean, sorry?
Where is it in the page object?
That's where in the page objects you will say navigate to website, and then you'll string your URL, and you'll also be calling on your base test to be doing the work there. No?
Okay.
Where is it on the page object? It should be after we've declared our object, then we write our test method. Then it should be the given. It should be the given, which is to navigate to the website before the when, before the given when, before the when, that is the action to be taken. Since the given is our precondition.
Oh, do you mean like the method?
No.
The given is our precondition.
I mean, if we want to, where do we invoke the application on that test, which is the long reach from?
Isn't it in the features and in the base object?
In
the page objects.
We invoke it from the base test.
The base test, quite all right. The base test.
Temitope, go to your page objects. It's in the page objects. I'm sure of it. Is it not in the page? Is it not in the page objects?
How were you taught? They must have taught you, isn't it?
Yeah. So what I was
Okay.
taught is that it's in
Okay. Do you
all of
have
my
your own?
ones are
Do you
in
no?
the
Do you have your own? Let me see. Let me share.
okay.
Because I want to see that you guys are doing what you are supposed to be doing, because we cannot come here to just have a feel. Do you understand why some people are not working? I want to see where we are because I know they've shared this. Now, where can you find your application that you are going to open?
It's
Where is it?
as in on the browser. It's here.
Not on the browser. We use a
What do you
browser,
mean?
which I put in there as Firefox. If you want me to change it, I can change it because
Yeah, we
you are
found it in
using
the base
Chrome.
test.
If you want me to change it, I can change it because
Done.
I just used what's it called?
Firefox.
Firefox, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can use this if you will. I'm still going to send it on what's it called on a Chrome driver. It's the same thing. Do you understand? It's the same
Yeah.
method that I've sent to you now. You can still put it. It's the same thing. But what I'm saying, are we opening up the URL from here?
Yeah, from the page object.
Who is showing here?
Simone.
Simone. Then this is it. Now driver.navigate. This is what I'm trying to say.
Yes,
To
in the page
go
object.
to okay, now where would you remember, look at where the URL is,
That's in
on line
the
22.
feature.
On line 22. That's where we're going. No, not that. You just where you showed just now. Sorry.
Oh yeah, line 27. I put it in the return because I only did a session to the application and the test.
Okay. Now our stuff today is to learn how to locate elements, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you are having that on line 27 and if you scroll on line 22, you have to go to URL. Which URL are you going to? It means you are jumping,
Because is it because
because
I mentioned the URL in the feature
yeah, this
file?
is the URL we are going to, the long reach, which
Yeah.
happens to be if you go to your where you showed me now, your step definition or your where you showed
Object.
just now. Now, if you notice, driver.navigate, where are you navigating to that URL
To
that
the
is on line
URL, yeah.
27? So don't be scared to make mistake, because through mistake you earn more, you gain more. So this return driver URL contains whatever. Then if it contains the return driver, what is it returning from where? So what is returning is something that had already been existing. That is what is returning. You don't give what you don't have,
Is
isn't
it from the base test?
Okay, if it is from the base test, when you go to the base test, is it specified there, this URL on your base test?
No.
If you
So
scroll
where's it
down,
meant to?
if
Where's
you
it meant?
scroll down a little
I
bit.
think to my understanding, what is returning is the last click.
Is it what? No,
What
it's
is
not you are a
returning?
tester. You are a tester. It's not to your own understanding. Don't forget, it's what we see, we test and we give, right?
Learning.
That's why I said go back to what they are teaching you, because Rita and others, they are spending a lot of time. You don't need to think. We don't think, oh, we explore, and whatever we say, we do. Not that, oh, I think it is like that. No, that you are giving the impression that, you are not putting in the work, because you have to, whenever Rita talks or I talk or whatever, look at what we're saying. You go back and study it and try to practicalize it. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, if we need to open that browser to see if it is opening, because there's issue with why do we have weight, implicit weight on Selenium by default does not have a synchronization abilities. So Selenium sometimes, because of the different technology that we use in creating the application, every different technologies, front-end technologies, open on different time. So when it is opening, if that application is developed with React or Angular or TypeScript, when the major thing, guys, is an element needs to be visible, enabled, and stable before a click can be made on it. Don't forget those three things. It needs to be visible. That's what Selenium is looking for. Before it locates that particular element, that element needs to be enabled. Do you understand? For example, when you put that, you see the console is blinking there. It's blinking there. You see the console on 21. That's enabled. That particular environment is enabled. That's why the console is blinking. You can do anything on it, and it is stable, right? So you must watch out for those three instances. Ability for that particular element to be visible, enabled, and also stable. That's when we can perform. That's why we always pull explicit wait for like 10 seconds or 15 seconds, depending on how you know that that particular element is. If it is a very, very heavy. When it's heavy, meaning if it has a lot of data that is coming up, it is not a text element. It is a delta that has to do with a lot of data like colors, like numeric numbers. So the element will render in a very it will not render on time on the UI. So Selenium has the ability to quickly want to click on that particular element, and that element is not rendering on time because it is heavy. Automatically, Selenium is going to throw an error, and that will mean that test has failed. That is why we are putting that wait time, explicit wait, for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 seconds rather, 50 seconds, depending on your idea of how well you have an idea of how to get hands-on on that. So I want you guys to take that code and follow exactly what I have explained, and that's a good code for you guys to have. So when something like this happens and it is red, all you need to do is to just see how you can wait on it and see how you can use the using, because whenever it has come up, right, and everything, and that will be
Yeah, I had to download the WebDriver.
Absolutely, because you have to download it, the using, so that you can be able to use it. So have it there and everything. So now we are going to look at the locators. Okay, I want to be okay with it, even though the codes are not ready or locked. Now, when you go to that long reach, for example.
Page objects. Where is it? Is it the step definition or the page objects?
No, the application.
Oh, the application on the
That's
text.
what is that the application is key, when you are developing your code. This is your application, right? Then if you want to, this is wherever you see here is elements. Your home,
Yeah.
your sign up, your logo, the link that you are seeing here, everything is elements on the web page. This is the web page, okay? And this are what we can test, based on the Selenium, the driver we are using. So we can right click on any particular element and test and do the drop down and test, right?
Yeah.
Right. When we right click, we inspect. Okay. Click it. Automatically, the developers section comes up, right? And these are the elements that make up that place. So for us to click any particular element, in that web page, don't always remember web page, this page. We have to click that box at the top right. Within the black box that you have opened, no. The first one, the first box, no. The first, no. The first
This
one
one.
on the extreme, your extreme left, no. The first
Extreme
box.
left, as in this one.
Yes, yes. So when you select that once, select it and leave it. Leave it. Then move to any of the web page you want to inspect. You see?
Okay.
Go to the logo, go to the logo, go to the logo. Then just click it once. When you click it lightweight, then you can see it has shown you everything that has to do with that logo inside. So we begin to look at the particular type of locator we want to use that is showing there. You could see sometimes you might not have all the type of locators listed there. So how do you go about that? That's why sometimes it's good for you to use sometimes for practices your selectors hub. You're able to locate that, So when you right click on that Longreach logo, right click on it, don't be scared. You want to inspect it.
Yeah.
Inspect. You say what is showing you, the place that is highlighted on the right side. If you notice, Longreach there, you would not say anything like name, ID, what's it called again? CSS selector or link text, right? So then you have to come up with an idea of how you are going to create your own
Hello.
ID, your locator. Can you hear me? So
Yeah.
at the same time, if you want to inspect, just close it.
Sorry, I was just gonna use a different browser.
What browser are you using?
Rita said I should use Google Chrome, so I'm just turning
Yeah,
to Google
Chrome
Chrome.
is the most stable, the favorite anyway. For example, you want to inspect your login button. Inspect your login button because login is stable for all applications. We must log in, isn't it? So inspect it. Sorry, I have my little baby here. It's all over me. I don't know. Girl's child. Sorry. So when you look at now, you have to have this ability for you to now use, because of the nature of this application, because you can't go back again to that login because it's all embedded in that hamburger menu, if I will say, right?
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
So what are the menus now? You must, as a tester, you must be exploratory in your thinking. So you say you have to click there. You have to be exploratory. You have to explore everything. Click there. So you see, now this explains, don't click there. This explains something. Get it? Because now the login is also appearing in another page. Do you understand? So it could be that when you inspect this again, it's going to be different from the other inspection that we have done. Okay, so if you look at this now, you will not find the proper locator to use. So if you click on that login again, likely,
This one.
yes, likely. So it has you see, it has given you a different place. You can't not find some of those locators that we have mentioned. So going forward, we will learn how to create expert for that particular locator. Because what we do is to create expert. Or the other way to get around about it is to use selectors hub for it. Can you hear me?
The
Yeah,
last thing
Aaron.
you said was to use Selectors Hub.
You can, because it's recommended. What makes life easy for you is what we will use, isn't it? That was why I told you guys to pick up that code, right? It makes life easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's not something you have to go and be saying in your interview, because it's expected that you should know this, right? How you go about making sure your automation framework is okay. It's not a big deal to anybody, right? So, Jimmy, you have your hand up.
Yes, while we're working, we didn't allow us install Creator Hub in our laptop or work laptop office. I mean, we didn't allow us to install it.
At your workplace.
Yeah, we didn't allow us to install
If you start
Creator Hub in my workplace.
if you start working now,
Yes, if I start working now, they give me company laptop. The company
now
allow me to
now
install Creator
let me
Hub.
tell you something. You're going to be working in an agile environment, right? Right?
Yeah.
Agile Scrum, we are self-organizing team. Okay. I'm going to share the 12 principles of agile for you guys. And the number 5 thing there is, right? You have to bring self-motivating testers together, developers together, give them the environment and the confidence to work and let them do the work and create results. Okay. They don't have to. It's different from company to company. My colleague just told me yesterday, he is here. You guys should know Tosin. He's a developer. That in their workplace, they gave them AI ChatGPT to be using to develop codes. So you don't have to, reinvent the wheel. Do you understand what I mean? That's testing. That's why you see, if Nathan has a code that I can use, then why would I want to create one from scratch for myself? I'll just take it from him and lift it and put it there, and life goes on. Do you understand? That's why I share this code with you guys. Life goes on. So if Selectors Hub, the guy that created it, is one of the hottest QA guy in the world, the most sought after guy. Do you understand? Everybody's embracing it. So if you're in a team, you're a team lead or team manager, yes, if it's working now, your codes are working fine, because codes are everywhere. Do you understand? If you are in it, we give codes. If Rita has code, ask Rita. I've taken the number of codes from her without starting from the scratch. Then would any person want to tell me, oh, you took it from Rita, why would you want to use it? No, it's not like that. They will allow you to use it, depending on the team. Do you understand? So to locate an element, we use all these numbers, but most especially the element that comes up we use, okay? But if we don't find an element like this, that's something I will show you guys, not now, how to create expert from the scratch, expert CSS by locating driver.find element by, expert. But you can go ahead using selector sub, right? So looking at this particular element, the way we can go about it, because you must know, and you must have this at the back of your mind, that when you locate some element, you might not find the right, when you expect an element, you might not find the necessary locator to capture that element. How do you go about that? We create an instance of experts, right? For us to be able to manage that particular element in our framework, in our codes, right? And I don't know where are you guys at in your automation? How long have you started your automation, if I may ask? No one has automated
Maybe
anyone.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Maybe
No one has automated this AUT, application under test, the long way. No one has been able to open it on your browser, in your
I've been able
framework.
to open it through using the assertions.
What do you mean
And
by
that
using the assertions?
I don't know how to explain that.
Now, when you say assertions, right?
Yeah.
Like when I say I navigate to this website, right? I put in my username and my password and I click login button. Then, which is one of the Genkin syntax, then the user should be able to log in. And when you log in, there should be an evidence that you are in that particular environment. That's when you do the assertions. For example, you are successfully logging, you are going to inspect that too and put it and use your assert true. Then you copy it. That's the only way you do your assertions. So you do your assertions in your step definitions, not on your pages .java. You do it on your step page or your test Java. Okay. I hope I'm making sense with all. I'm trying to use terminologies for this because I'm a technical guy, so that you guys will learn how to use it, because they used to teach us that, guys, you learning testing and doing testing is like you learning how to drive. You don't have to be using one hand to drive, right? You must use two hands. So when you pass your driving test, right, it's up to you if you want to use one arm to drive, right? But you must stick to the ways things are being done, right? So you do your assertions just to assert that you are already in that particular page that you have logged into. So you assert with then. Every then, given when then, that's when you do your assertions. Or sometimes when you log in, is a particular element or is displayed, you must do your assertions with that. But what I'm saying is that, has anybody been able to automate its browser and the browser comes up? How many of us are in this call? 19.
Okay, sorry, Arad. I think they don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
What Arad
I think
is
it's a
saying
bit
is,
confusing.
hold on, Simon. So what he's saying is, have you automate any site? Yes, we've done sign up on Prep Major and what is it called? MentorSkit, ReadTube. That's 3. So when you say, have you opened any browser? So you have to open a browser for you to be able to sign up. Isn't that what you're trying to say, Aaron?
Exactly, yes. So when I don't want to use that word website.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah,
I'm telling
yeah.
you guys
I get it. I get
application,
it.
AUT, application on that test. Because I don't want to, because it could happen during interview. So when you website, they might not understand, okay, website, but you are developing it. It has to be in a control environment. Do you understand? So what I'm trying to say now, have you been able to automate a website so that it will open? Who has done that?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
this
all
is one
have,
of
yeah.
them.
So with the app, with regards to test, I've been able to automate it, as in I could navigate to the website and it open up. And that's as far as it goes, because it wasn't at the time, it wasn't meant to be a functioning website. It was only meant to be static. But um
Okay,
with regards to other
because I'm going somewhere. What you did, can you be able to do it now so that we will do locators very well so that you will understand? If what you did before, you are able to do it and
but
open the
we
website.
wouldn't have used locators because it was only meant to be a static website. So we can go into a
Absolutely.
different.
That's why I said if you can be able to do whatever you have done before for the site to be up, for the website to come up, that'll be fine if you remember.
It's literally here right now, like this bit. This is all I did.
Okay. But you said it opened, right?
Yeah,
Okay, do what you did before for it to
as in
open.
run the test.
Yes, you must run the test. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Mm. Because when we run the test, if it runs, then we'll begin to put in the test data so that we can begin to use that to locate the elements, right? And one thing for sure, guys that are listening, when we are having a conversation like this, if you can screenshot, but just go back to whatever we are doing, and you can be able to pick one or two information that will help, okay?
I didn't clean or build or nothing.
No, sometimes it automatically cleans up himself. That's why you see, what this means is that because of the application or the website, it has to make sure everything renders before the page opens. Do you understand? Sometimes Selenium would not always have the patience and it will throw an error. That's why we are using wait. Do you understand? To wait for some elements to come up, because if a text element is coming up, it's going to be faster than when a kind of logo element is coming up. Do you understand? Yeah, Jeremy, you have your hands up. So we must understand all this before we can move, we'll begin to proceed. Do you understand? Jimmy, you have your hands up. Yeah.
Yes, as regarding the explicit way,
I
you
can't hear
mentioned.
you. I can't hear you very well. Be like,
Okay,
it's like,
it's echoing. Sorry, let me move to a quiet place.
hold on, please.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me now?
Hold on, Jimmy. I think he's attending to the kid. Yes, hold on.
What?
Yes. You mentioned implicitly weight. That the reason for implicitly weight is for the Selenium to wait for some time before it automates. But there was a time I was automating a website and I used this implicitly weight. It still not go through. I increased it to 500. I increased it to 500 seconds. It still not go through. Then until I use thread weight before it finally go through. So why is it that? Because implicitly weight is supposed to delay the website. So why did it go through with thread weight, not implicitly weight?
Let me explain something to you. I think I have to, in the next time, I'm going to teach you guys about synchronization, okay? Now, we have different tools that we use to automate the web browser UI, right? Like Selenium. Selenium is the OG, We have Cypress, we have WebDriver IO, and we have the new sheriff internal, which is everybody is going after. It's called Playwright, right? Now, I'm not a fan of Cypress because it's Java based, and also with the Chromium engines based web automation tool. When I mean Chromium based engines, you have to talk about the Chrome driver, the Chromium itself, the Safari, and all that. However, by default, synchronization as regarding automating the web browser, Selenium, normally make us to experience flaky tests because it does not wait for all elements to be visible before it clicks. It just comes and wants to click that particular element, if it is text or if it is an image. So don't forget, the UI is being developed with some particular programming language that is quite different from Java from the back end. For example, it could be TypeScript, Angular, React. These are front end programming languages that is being used to develop web pages, right? And
Okay.
most of them, render on browser differently. Do you understand? Then Selenium does not have that ability to wait because the synchronization is different. So what we do is to put time to wait. Sorry, my daughter is just all over me, So at the end of the day, we put 10 minutes. Sorry, he needs something. Okay. Okay. When you are talking about thread.wait, it's not thread.wait, it's thread.sleep. You could put 20,000, which is 2 seconds, or 10,000, which is 10 seconds, to wait. But we use explicit wait and explicit wait. It depends on at that particular time what you are testing. So when we use implicit wait and the particular element is not rendering, then you increase your wait. But most times, we wait for that particular website to open on the browser, and we wait for all those elements to be visible. For example, the login text box, text field, the password text field to be visible, for the button, login button to be visible, before you can be able to begin to fill those stuff that we have inspected with respect to the login field and the password. So explicit wait is what we use because we have to put weights everywhere, because Selenium does not have that ability for it to wait. Compared to Cypress and Playwright, they will wait till that particular element is visible, it is enabled, and it is stable. They will not click. If it's not visible, by default, Playwright will wait. But Selenium doesn't wait. But Selenium came into the market before all this, so it's widely accepted. Do you understand? So we still believe on Selenium, reason being that, with Selenium, you can automate so many browsers that are open source and available in the market, and platform, as well, with respect to Windows, Mac machines, Linux and everything. Some of these browsers don't do that. Sorry, some of these automation tools don't do that. So we use that. Do you understand? That's why we have weights all over the place. It depends on that particular application. And also it depends on your network and your browser you are using as well. Do you understand? For you to put weight there, but it's necessary for us to learn that we must put weight, implicit weight for 10 seconds for everything to be visible on the website. Then Selenium will now do its click on the particular element that we want to click. Do you understand that? But if you put thread.sleep, now the thread.sleep, what that means is, understand this, observe this. Everybody observe this. When you use thread.sleep, when you say thread.sleep, wait, you are putting thread.sleep for that particular element to be visible in 20 seconds, right? Even if that element, observe this, is visible within 8-9 seconds, right? What thread.sleep does is going to make sure it exhausts that 20 seconds as against explicit wait. If you put explicit wait for 20 seconds and the element, renders within 8 seconds, so it's going to eliminate the 12 seconds that is remaining and move ahead. Don't you understand? So when you use thread.sleep, you have to wait for 20 seconds. Are you listening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Observe during interview, it could come up, okay? That's what thread.sleep. That's why we don't normally advise to use thread.sleep. Because thread.sleep will wait for the 20 seconds to be exhausted. Then it will move. Then begin to interact with the elements. But explicit wait, if the element render on the browser within 9-10 seconds, it's going to discard the remaining 10 seconds and move ahead with the click. Do you understand that? Did you get the understanding?
Yes, much better now.
That's why I can't afford to use thread.sleep because I don't want to waste every second. Do you understand? I just want to move ahead for my stuff to open, enabled, and move ahead. That's why thread.sleep is not always advisable, because when you use it, will now begin to give you an impression, a feeling that this browser is slow. This website is slow because it's opening 20 seconds, because it does not discard the remaining one, even though it opens within 9-10 seconds. Compared to explicit wait, if it opens 9 seconds, it clicks, we move on. Do you understand that now?
Yeah, just to understand better.
Okay.
It means that instead of me using the thread.sleep and the implicit wait, I should have used explicit wait. That
where you are, I don't know. You like you are in bathroom, or you are somewhere you are hiding, for someone not to hear you. So I can barely hear you. What did you say?
okay? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I said that to understand better, instead of me using implicit wait or thread.sleep, I should have used explicit wait.
What do you understand by implicit wait and explicit wait? Okay, they've not. If they've not taught you guys, we'll talk about that.
Is it
No,
something like
no.
one
Restford,
clause?
I don't want us to digress. Restford is going to take the weights. I said
Okay.
it earlier. But yeah, Jimmy, you can also use ChatGPT. So what Arad is saying is thread or sleep is not advisable. I mean, we do use it. We use it, but then we remove it. We just use it to make sure that the code is passing, but then we do remove it. So it's not advisable to have it in your code. So hence, just use explicit wait. And
Okay,
so,
better. Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Aaron, let's
Okay.
quickly.
Okay, let's quickly round up. So apologies, guys, because what I'm saying now is that the next time I told Rita to permit me to make a part 2 of this, so that I will open my Visual Studio, then begin to show the locators, because I know you guys need to do more work. More has been given to you guys, but Jimmy, you could put your hand down anyway. We will practically, I will practically demonstrate, from my own studio, from my own Visual Studio, how, to locate elements, with these different locators, and the most favorable locators we need to use and watch out for. Okay, so I'm going to share the document I've used in explaining Selenium WebDriver and also the locators with you guys in a moment. Okay, I just quickly had to put that together because I was meant to demo it physically, but because I have issues with my Visual Studio, so my Cucumber was not actually binding, so there wasn't anywhere I could open it to show, because there's no, and also I'll be sharing some useful codes for us to,
Okumba, spec
yeah,
flow.
it's, sorry, my spec flow, sorry, uh, uh, I want to use the spec flow anyway. I'm using Cucumber, sorry. The spec flow didn't bind that for a reason I don't know. So guys, we will have a part 2 of this for me to practically demonstrate. I
Can
was
stop the
thinking,
recording, right?
yes, I was thinking someone would